Good morning, it's Yvonne here with your What's Cracking reading. Just quickly, as I always do, thank you so much for your love and support and your generous comments. Thank you to all those who come to me for personal readings. I don't always thank you, and it's beautiful, and the people who return, which is amazing. Um, if you are looking for a reading with me, I am available for readings Wednesday and Thursday. However, it's still quite limited, but you can find me at www.theaussiegoddess.com. And you can book and pay for your reading and everything there. If you want to see me in person, I will be at Mittagong. I think it's the next Sunday week, and then at Young the fortnight afterwards. If you're unsure, check on my Facebook page. It's always good to check there anyway. I tend to sort of keep everything up to date there. So if you're unsure, please email me. But Mittagong and Young, if you are in the area, Danielle from Living Wellness books the first one online. So if you want to get in to see me quickly, that's the best way to do it. So very exciting times. Okay, let's see what's going on in your What's Cracking world. Okay, the world coming straight out. You know, there's been a lot of energy around closing out cycles. And obviously when I put my readings up, people feed back, you know, what they're going through or what's happening for them at the time, which is really good because it sort of makes me understand what the energies are, and then I can sort of always relate them better. Sometimes people say, I don't know what lesson I have to learn or what cycle I'm closing out. And I say to people, if you don't know, you may not be quite ready, and you will know when you do. So there's always like that closing of the door on something. So, you know, we know that when one door closes, another door opens. So there's the energy always with the World card that we are closing something out. It's the end of the cycle. So the World card in the major arcana is towards the end. And the only thing that comes after the World card in the traditional decks is the Judgment card, which is about, you know, being called to action after you've completed a cycle. And what that means is, have we completed the cycle successfully? Has the cycle closed, but we haven't really got the lessons we needed to learn? And do we repeat where we go back to the beginning? So for me, the World card very often talks about that. However, it can talk about traveling. And it sometimes sort of comes across as the internet too. So you know, being able to reach out to sort of all corners here. But for me, the World card is very much about closing out some sort of cycle. All right, so we have the Page of Pentacles behind it. If you're dealing with a younger person, you know, quite possibly a child, it may be that you've sort of come to the end of your tether, and maybe it's been a really difficult road, because you're letting something go here. Now, sometimes that can mean that you're letting the person go, like you've come to the end of the cycle. So it may not be that you're letting the person go as in terms of letting them walk away. Sometimes it can mean we've tried everything we could try, and maybe we're getting to a point now where we need to look at additional options. So because I've got the Four of Pentacles here, this may be letting go of an old way of thinking. So, for example, if you're dealing with somebody and you're trying to sort somebody out, and you still have that real, you know, wanting to fix people or wanting to mend people, or you feel responsible for people, then sometimes you can do so much, but you get so exhausted trying to do everything. And there comes a point where you realize that you're just doing a lot of things that maybe aren't working. So it could be that you're looking at tough love, for example, where you're withdrawing some sort of support to someone. But it can also mean that you are letting go of the person altogether. Whatever it is, there's a definite releasing of something here. Okay, and we do have the Magician. I like this energy, and the Empress. Okay, so you're realizing your own worth here. I feel like for some of you, this may be a relationship that you've been working on. You may have been in a commitment with somebody or a connection. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. And you may have put everything you've had into that situation. You may have felt like you just kept wanting to do more, be more, give more, and then all of a sudden it has hit you there that you are not doing any good by being that way at all. I think that again, coming back to that energy of people pleasing, wanting to fix people, wanting to mend people, which is very much our commitment or our rejection issues. We keep investing in something. The thing is, if you keep investing, the likelihood is that that relationship will turn toxic. And maybe that's where you've got to the point where you're realizing, I've overloved somebody, I've given them so much, and now I need to withdraw or pull back. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so I have the Three of Cups coming through with the Tower. You're pulling the plug on something here with the Leo, Sag, or Aries. Possibly for some of you, you're already in a commitment with this person because I have the Hierophant here. The Three of Cups, maybe you're dealing with somebody who's in another relationship. Maybe you're dealing with somebody that you've been trying to perhaps win over, or I feel like you're really totally besotted with this person. I feel like it's more than likely romantic here, but I feel like you may be up against somebody that's got other interests, other people involved. They could be married because the Tower's here. And with the Tower and the Hierophant, I'm feeling like this is something that's fairly stable, structured. You may have been doing this for a long while. I feel like there's a big breakdown. Timing, I feel like you could be looking at around about October, November. But it's like you're about to pull the plug on someone. I feel like you've put in so much energy. Maybe you're realizing now that you need to close this out. For some of you, you could be dealing with somebody overseas. Especially with that World card there. So it could be this is something to do with a relationship where somebody's left to go overseas or lives overseas, and I feel like you're realizing it isn't working. This sort of would concern me too with that Three of Cups there, because perhaps your person is married or otherwise committed or committed to more than one person. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands with the Seven of Swords. Your person's duping you here, I feel. The Sun. I feel like we had something like this yesterday as well. You're dealing with somebody who definitely does not have your best interests at heart. They're looking at what can they get from this situation. What can I gain from this? But I feel like with that Three of Cups, you're not the only person on this person's agenda. I do feel like with the Sun here, though, that to me is sort of like that sort of light flashing, or that realization that you've maybe got involved in something that's beyond what you really should be dealing with. Do you know, like you get in too deep, and by the time you've got in really deep and you know it's wrong, it's harder to sort of extract yourself. But to me, I feel like, especially with this World card, that you're going to pull the plug here. Maybe something's happened that you've realized, or something's been shown to you. Yeah, we have the Seven of Cups coming out over the Seven of Wands. This is a fantasy. It's not, you're walking away with that Eight of Cups. And I have the Nine of Swords here. So it is difficult. Whatever this situation is for you, it is difficult, but I feel like you're dealing with somebody here with that Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, who's built some sort of fantasy up, or some sort of idea of how things are. They may have been love bombing you. I have a feeling the energy was like this yesterday as well. You may be dealing with somebody who's built some sort of idea of how things are, and it's just not how things are. Let's just go over this. I'm going to have a deeper look. All right, so have you closing out some sort of cycle here? You're letting go. I feel like you're letting go of somebody here. Some sort of communication has come through that sort of set you back on your feet. So it's woken you up or alerted you, or because the Magician's here. So I feel like you are understanding you have more power in this situation, and I feel like you're pulling the plug on someone. I do feel self-respect here with the Empress, but I do feel that this is going to be very disappointing. To me, it looks like you've put a lot of work into something, and it's really not serving you here. I see you walking away with that Eight of Cups, and it flanks the Seven of Cups with the Seven of Swords. So you may be sort of realizing that maybe you've handed over money, Maybe this person's asked you for something that's just gone a little bit beyond what is reasonable in a relationship. But that Tower definitely tells me things are just not on the up and up. It feels like this person has been either dealing with more than one person or is married and just taking from you what they want. I feel that you're going to find this out. You may have some sort of communication coming from somebody else involved. That's possible. It's always, yeah, Knight of Cups here. Hang on. With the Nine of Cups, right. Okay. The Well and the Moon. Something's about to be exposed to you. All right. So it could be that somebody is almost rescuing you at the last minute. So maybe you've got in so deep with this person, you could have been talking about marriage with the Hierophant there. This person may have wanted to travel to you. And it's like with the Well and the Moon here, like something is about to be exposed that's been hidden. I feel like here with this Knight of Cups, there's a real feeling of somebody alerting you or exposing this person. They may have found messages or texts or communication and they want to let you know. So I feel like you may be getting communication from a third party. But whatever this is, it's pretty soul destroying because you've got the Nine of Swords here. But I want to say to you, you're coming up as the Empress there, which says to me, no matter which way I go here, you are learning that you need to have respect for yourself. So you're doing something out of self-respect and self-love. I don't know who I'm talking to at the moment, but it has a vague recollection of the reading yesterday, sort of a similar energy. So obviously somebody needs to hear this. All right, let's just pull Wisdom of the Oracle card. There it is. Truth be told. Very interesting. I always say I'm never really sure how the cards that come out are the right cards. It blows me away still to this day. A truth be told. Honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. There is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is the truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. Maybe that's the hardest thing to take. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion. That's what I've got with that Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups. But it will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and Spirit will answer with miracles. You know, the relationship message here is probably really relevant too. It says people tell you who they are very quickly, and if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based in your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how you're doing has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. You know, sometimes when people are having difficulties in relationship and I say to them, have you spoken to this person about this? And they say no. And I think, why are you not speaking? Are you not speaking because you know that if you raise this, it may be a matter of this person not really doing what you want them to do? So say, for example, you want to get married. You want to have a family. And you're too scared to ask the person because you're not really sure whether they want the same things as you. Ask, because if they say no, that's not what they want, at least you can break the relationship and move on. But you see, what happens is we're too scared to ask because we do not want to hear the truth. So if this is your reading and you're dealing with somebody, There must be something in your psyche, in your gut, within you that is holding back from asking for the truth. And it's very difficult for even good liars to lie. They will wheedle, they will move around, they will lie upon lie upon lie. So if you want to find out the truth, maybe it's time to ask this person, is there somebody else involved? Are there more than one person? Are you duping me? People won't ask because they don't want to hear the truth. So if this is your reading, I would say to you, it's time to really look at something. I feel like you already know in your gut because that cycle is closing out. But I feel like you may be scared to ask because you don't want to be let down or rejected. All right, I'll leave you with that. Have a great day.